Good morning. Thank you for coming. I am Kim Stewart. I'm the Sheriff of Doña Ana County. With me today are Detectives Nathan Jimerson and Armando Calzadias, as well as our Public Information Officer, Deputy Perry Marte. At the end of today's event, Deputy Marte will hand you specific information, more than you already know, regarding the death of Kamala. So let me tell you why we're here today, or while I have chosen to be here today. Last Friday, the arrests of Israel Ramirez and Danielle Lujan were widely reported in our local media. Those accounts were based on court reports. The information we're going to hand you today will have far more specific information. There is a reason for that. This case has touched us deeply, has touched all of us deeply. We all either have children or intend to have children, and these cases are very difficult for us to proceed with in terms of investigation and presentation to the district attorney, as well as subsequent court action. Today, I want to talk with you about some specific areas that are directly related, and each of these areas impact the other. Let me begin. In 1983, April was designated as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. The purpose of that designation was to increase awareness and cooperation between law enforcement, prosecution, the district attorney, the judiciary, and the public. This April was actually prefaced by an event that occurred in December 2020. It was an egregious case of animal abuse. The dog's owner was in a fight with his brother and subsequently stabbed his own dog 29 times in a fit of rage. You may ask, what is the link between the death of baby Kamala and the abuse of an animal? Turns out there's ample research to show you a direct link between acts of cruelty to animals and violence to humans. Going back to a 1983 research study, it found that in 88% of homes in which physical child abuse was being investigated, so too was the presence of animal cruelty. 88%. As recently as 2017, a study showed that 89% of women who had reported their animals were threatened, harmed, or killed by their abusive partner were also victims of violence at the hands of those partners. Let's look at animal abuse, spousal abuse, and child abuse as a three-legged stool. Given that image, if we were to positively impact just one of those legs of the stool, we would significantly impact the occurrence of the other two behaviors. When prosecution fails to charge to the fullest extent of the law in any of these three areas, it is giving the public the impression it is not important. When in fact, I hope I've conveyed to you not only the link between those three areas, but the importance of them. Baby Brianna died in 2002. On July 19th of this year, she would have been 19 years old. Here we are, 19 years later, trying to grapple with the death of Kamala. There are three things I want to leave you with today. First, we rank 50th in the nation in terms of animal protection laws, 50th. Our children's welfare is only slightly better than that. If you see something concerning to you as a family member or a friend, say something. Trust your instincts. Many people around baby Kamala suspected abuse, observed evidence of abuse, and failed to report it. We all fail, Kamalas. We all fail by turning away and saying it's none of our business. In fact, really, if it isn't our business, whose business is it? The Safe Haven Infants Act allows for a parent, guardian, or custodian to leave an infant who is 90 days old or less at either the hospital or the fire department. No questions would be asked. Our goal is not to arrest those who abuse children, but rather to assist in preventing child abuse before it starts. Animal abuse is a symptom of a problem. Don't ignore it. Leaving dogs staked up in the sun with no water in the middle of summer, that's a symptom, okay? That's something where you as a neighbor or a friend or a relative can look closely at and say, do I need to ask more questions? Do I need to be concerned about the person who does that? That is all I want to leave you with today. If we can answer a question, we will try to do it. I believe the handout we're going to give you will provide a certain number of answers. But right now, if you'd like to take a couple of minutes, we'll attempt to help you out.
I do have a question. Obviously, this is a very tragic case. The mugshot on the Gwinnett County inmates, Lujan isn't smiling. Was this mugshot taken after she was arrested in connection to the baby's death?
The detectives could answer that.
These photos are actually taken from their driver's license photos.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir?
Yes, if someone has been accused of animal cruelty, is there a way for them to maybe, I don't know, lose custody of their children, or is there any kind of repercussions that have lasting effects?
One of the things that makes us 50th in protecting animals is we have no ability, or the court has no ability later from preventing them from ever owning an animal again. So I guess the long and short answer is no. They could be charged fully. In the case of the dog Gucci, that's a 4th-degree felony, I believe, isn't it? Yes. And that person could be found guilty and still go on to own many more dogs, cats, sheep, whatever.
Sheriff, are you aware of the group gathering outside and their relation to the case?
No, I was unaware of that. Thank you for bringing that. Ma'am.
Are there any links in this case to animal or household abuse?
I believe at the time of the search warrant, was there an animal in the house, I believe?
They were canines on the property, but no signs of abuse as we could see.
We found filthy conditions for the animals, as well as for Kamala.
We went to the house yesterday and saw a dog on the property. It looked well fed and well nourished. We gave it some water, but to your knowledge, is anyone taking care of that dog?
We have no information about who's at the house.
I'm not sure at this time.
Yeah. Anybody else?
One more on an
Certainly.
One more on an unrelated note. Not sure if you heard that 2 sheriff's deputies were just killed in the town of Eden in central Texas. It's about 210 miles southwest of Dallas. If you'd like to comment on that case.
Thank you for advising me. I was unaware of that. I have been to Eden myself, and it's a small crossroads out there with a state prison, I believe. So there's not much there. It's an unfortunate incident. Thank you.